Hey everybody! Welcome back to Sofa Spouses.
Sofa Spouses.
I'm Gabe.
I'm Amanda.
And we are...
I'm Batman.
And we have Batman. We have a guest with us today. So we're going to be doing a review today, guys.
Because it was game day!
It was Batman! Batman!
Game day for the Batman.
Batman. So yes, Batman came out today. And we went and watched it. It had a showing on Tuesday, but we didn't have enough money
Yeah, our
to go
IMAX
do it.
Our IMAX did that special showing.
But we
didn't looks like they got a lot of people to come.
They did, because our showing was almost...
Pretty much empty. Granted, it was the 3:30 showing. I imagine tomorrow's going
to be busier, and of course, tonight was probably a lot busier too. So, but 3:30 in the afternoon, a lot of people are still at work. So,
but it's a 3-hour movie, so we kind of decided on the 3:30.
We wanted to go with the earlier showing just so we weren't up until like late.
Yeah.
So, and we wanted to make this video for you guys too. So,
yeah.
Anyway, so the movie was awesome.
Yes, it was very good.
Yes, very good.
I will tell you this though, Gabe and I both agreed on this. It is not
definitely not a kid's Batman movie.
Depending on how old they are.
Yes.
And what you think your kid can handle. I would say
12 and up.
Yeah, I'd say 12 and up.
That the PG-13 rating definitely applies. 12, 13 up.
Though I will say it didn't come... I mean, they definitely cut before it got too bad.
Yeah, they would definitely cut before it got too bad, but a lot of the implied violence was pretty bad.
Yeah, the implied violence was bad. But it wasn't as... There wasn't as much of it as I thought there was going to be. It was definitely there, though. It is definitely a darker tone.
Yes.
But then I imagine the Flash is going to be. Yeah. And we'll definitely be doing a review for that, too. Because 1, 2, 3... Keaton! But anyway,
So yeah, but definitely not a kids movie, but it was very good. I loved the mystery aspect.
Yes, the mystery aspect was great.
I kind of liked I liked just about everything about it. And we're going to go into a spoiler review here in just a little bit.
Yeah, we're being very non-spoiler
trying to be non-spoiler here at the beginning, and
I'll put up
a little spoiler warning thing up in the corner over here when
Zoe Kravitz was amazing. Robert Pattinson was really good.
Very good.
This definitely felt more real world than Christian Bale's ever did. Do not at me. I'm sorry. But a lot of it... now, his definitely felt more real world than, say, Tim Burton's.
Yeah. It kind of felt like it was a cross between Tim Burton and
I wouldn't say it was more of a cross between.
It had I would say it had elements of Tim Burton, like the city felt like Tim Burton's city almost, or like an aged up version, because Tim Burton's was kind of like if you were to take like a noir steampunkish like Gotham, and then Christian Bale's was more, like it was real world. Take the real world, but then take the steampunkish Gotham style that you had from from the Tim Burtons and marry them in a way that is just absolutely perfect.
Yeah. To be honest, I felt it was more a combination of Christian Bale's and the animated series.
Yeah, a little bit. I could see that.
And and we just watched an episode of the animated series that we had dinner, but because it's Batman Day. But anyway,
Batman Night.
But not just Batman Night, Batman Day. But anyway, which they hinted at a lot that they were doing it. And that was part of the beauty of the animated series. Was it felt like it was taking place in a real place, but it also had that you're not sure what time it's really supposed to be, even though it had some modern elements.
Yeah. There was there was one scene that had a year date on it. So
I missed that.
I saw it. But anyway,
what year did it say?
2008. And it was a flashback, not a flashback, but it was something from a long time ago. Was it one of the
articles that
we'll get onto that.
Yeah, but anyway,
anyway, so guys, we definitely recommend it. It was very fun, very good.
It was fun.
Definitely
just not for younger kids. I hate to say it because I know a lot of younger kids.
Yeah, there's a lot of little Batman fans, and
especially little boys love Batman.
Just wait till they're a little older before you show it to them, guys.
Yeah, this one is not for the little boys and girls.
Definitely not for the little boys and little girls. But it was very good. I loved everything about it. Like, it was kind of dark for
Batman's always
but
dark,
then it's always been
our
dark.
Friend Jacob said that we saw at the theater today.
It's always a dark story. It always has. I mean, the Batman only works at night, so obviously it's going to be a dark movie.
And DC's always darker in tone. They're always way more serious in tone than Marvel is. I mean, they still have their humorous elements, but like there were a few funny scenes.
Yeah, there was. There were definitely some. There was some comedy.
But it was it definitely was a Batman detective story.
Yes,
which was
we really
fun.
Liked it. We liked it a lot. Anyway, guys,
and it definitely did have that.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it. If you don't have plans to go see it, what are you waiting for? It was very good. So definitely go and see this movie.
Yeah.
Go see it in the theaters. Support the theaters. If you can. If you can't, then it'll be on HBO Max in a couple months.
All right.
But anyway, so now non-spoilers over.
Okay.
Spoiler
start
time.
Out with spoilers. Why this is not for the younger boys, kitties, boys and girls, especially boys, because a lot of little boys like
Batman. Yeah.
Boys and girls, but there's girls too. Of course, I've liked Batman since I was a little girl. Yes. But
it's very, very violent.
Number one, yes, it is violent. Number two, it has a very not that I have seen Seven, but it is very, from what I've heard about that movie and little clips that I've seen where Kevin Spacey is an amazing actor in it.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely has that vibe.
Mm-hmm.
90s serial killer movie vibe. Riddler is not the Jim Carrey Riddler
definitely
in this.
Not the Jim Carrey Riddler. He is straight up crazy. Like, and they don't they really push on he's really smart, really, really intelligent, and knows how to do riddles and knows how to play a game, but he's so obsessed about one thing, about the outcome of one particular thing, that he comes across as a madman, and he is very much a madman.
Yes,
straight up madman.
Paul Dano does an excellent job.
Does such a good job too,
but it is definitely
portraying the madman,
a serial killer.
He's definitely a serial killer and a madman, and it was interesting how they portrayed his social media aspect, the social media aspect of him being a serial killer.
Well, in Dark Knight they had Joker do the same thing,
kind of, but not in the way that they've.
Yeah, the internet was used.
The internet was used
much more in this one.
The internet was definitely much more used in this.
Or their version of the internet.
Their version of the internet.
But so, and the other reason is it is a very dark tone.
It is a very dark tone. The tone is extremely dark.
Yeah.
I mean, I would go as far as to say even for a Batman movie, I would say it was.
I wouldn't say for a Batman movie because Batman does go dark in the comics, and they've always kind of, I think,
been a little darker.
Kept it when it comes to movies from going as dark as some of the comics go. I mean, there's literally an animated Batman movie based on The Killing Joke that's rated R because they put a sex scene in it. I don't know if they just did that for the movie or that's actually in the comic. I believe it's actually in the comic. Right. But you know, so they've always kind of, and DC is always a darker tone.
Yes, it is. Has always been.
But yes, even it's definitely a murder mystery, and it's not a fun murder mystery.
Yes, it's not a fun murder mystery. I mean, heck, the very first scene has the mayor getting his head bashed in. So I mean, it's not. And they don't like shy away from it either. Like they show it happen.
No blood squibs.
No blood squibs or anything like that. But they really.
It's intense. You know, it's very adult. Intense. It's very adult. What a lot of people want Batman to be. Yeah. Because he's way more adult than a lot of times he's portrayed in the movies or in the.
If you look at the comics and stuff like that, it's very much. It's kind of different than the cartoons.
Yeah.
So.
Or especially the Animus TV show, which is kind of its own thing. But its own weird thing. But cool thing. But that's how I got to like Batman, actually. When I was young.
So, but I think the story was very well weaved.
Yes.
I like how and now that we've watched the movie, I understand why he pushed for the 3-hour runtime.
Yeah, I don't think
because it with him. Every single minute of that movie was important. There was no scene that could be really cut out.
No,
it was wasn't. Everything had a purpose. It was always, or every single scene had connection to the mystery. And I understand now why he really pushed for that 3-hour runtime. And it just it was so good.
The Batmobile introduction,
guys. Yes.
Oh my gosh. That has to be hands down the best Batmobile introduction ever done.
Ever done, yes. Had to be the best Batman intro.
Oh my gosh. Intro. And we're not going to say anything because you have to see it to really get how cool it is.
It was so good.
Because you're not, and part of the reason we don't want to say is even though this is a spoiler part, we don't like to spoil everything when we do our spoiler reviews. So I know we say that a lot when we do our reviews, but you kind of, you're not expecting it, so we don't want to ruin that.
So it was, but it was really good. The chase scene was so well done.
Yes, and I loved I love that they didn't put the very end of that scene in the trailer, and I'm not going to spoil that either.
No, but it was just, I liked how they, with the chase scene, how we never really got a chance to see like above or see the a wide shot or like we never really got to see. It was almost always like all of the shots were almost all shot from like the point of view of a vehicle that was in the chase scene.
Yeah,
like there was very few shots that actually had like a wide shot showing the vehicles running down the highway. It was all like up close action shots. That there was like no
the first shot where he flies and goes off a building was filmed really cool too.
I loved how they, instead of making it so his cape is just like a big wing thing, they actually, or big thing that flies off and or allows him to basically fly. They made it so that he like pulls on a zipper or something like that, and it turns his cape turns into a
like one of those flight suits,
one of those flying wing suits.
And the cool part about it was at first
you base just jumper see him. Suits. That's what they're called.
Yeah, what are they called?
Base jumper suits.
Base jumper. And at first, it's kind of like you're gliding with him because and all you kind of see is the spread.
Mm-hmm.
And then it goes up, and it's like you're looking up at him and at his face as he's flying. And I thought that was really cool. Like you're down on the ground.
Yeah.
But you have good binoculars or something, or a telescope, and you can see his face as you're flying or whatever.
Yeah.
As he's flying. It was really cool because it felt like you were almost flying underneath him.
Yeah.
Or on top of him.
So it was just...
Yeah, it was so really good. Well done. And they filmed a lot of this in England. And I guess because of... Was that the movie that said that? I'm not going to say that because I'm not sure if that was actually about the Batman. Well, maybe it was. But anyway, I'm not going to say it. But... because this what I was about to say, because I'm not sure if they were talking about the Batman when they said that. I think they were, but I'm not sure. They could not have picked a better place. It was a really neat version of Gotham.
Yes, it was very neat. And I think they used like a bunch of different locations to film. And
but it was mostly shot
shot in England, but they used a lot of different
in, I think, was it near Liverpool?
I want to say something like that. Yeah. But it was a bunch of different locations, I think. Throughout England that they used.
Yeah.
There was a lot of architecture, a lot of Roman style architecture, a lot of
and I truly understand now why Robert Pattinson was frustrated with Twilight, because the dude can act.
Yes, he does a very good job in this movie.
And I actually think he was the better than he gets a lot of credit for in that movie. And I'm sure he wanted to. We were kind of talking about this last night. I said I'm sure he wanted to do it, or he wouldn't have auditioned for it. It's kind of stupid to audition for something you don't want to do. But I think he did not like what the hype and the thing became.
Yeah.
And you can't blame him.
No, you can't.
He seems like a very private person.
He is definitely a very private person.
But he did an amazing
job. Absolutely amazing
I don't know if he's my new favorite. I think I'm going to have to give him the two other movies that are supposedly
going to be happening.
To say that he did a good job, but I'm not gonna run out. A lot of people were saying he will be your new favorite Batman. I'm not gonna run out and.
We're not gonna run out and say that just yet.
I don't know though, but I will say Colin Firth might be the best Penguin since Danny DeVito, though.
Yes, he did a very good job.
He had one of the funnier lines in this.
Yeah.
Guys, don't leave me here. Your sons of...
That was hilarious. But yeah, so it was such a good movie.
But that was like one of the few really like laugh out loud moments of it.
Yes.
To be honest, because he and you could tell he was just having his. You could tell almost he was like, "Yes, I finally get to say a funny line here," you know.
Yeah.
Are you really gonna leave me here? Are you really gonna leave me here? and his I got you! Oh my gosh. And when that car just comes out of the fire.
Yeah.
And he literally, because the whole chase, you can't tell from the trailer, but the whole chase is in this traffic jam. Yeah. Scene, like an actual traffic. And they're both like weaving in and out of traffic. And he basically, to get the car to do that, because I was like, oh, come on. When I first saw that clip in the trailer, I thought it was awesome. Don't get me wrong, but I was like, what are they doing? Making the Batmobile the Dukes of Hazzard car now?
Yeah, I know.
But he actually, what you don't see in the trailer is he actually went up a ramp.
Went up there was one of the, I want to say it was like a car tractor trailer. Like a tractor trailer that tows cars or something like that. Or carries cars. An empty one, I guess, just happened to be there. Got into the accident and was starting to, he happened to move right into the perfect position so he could jump over the accident as it started to happen.
Yeah. And he's like, I got you.
And then the Batmobile just comes out of the middle
fire. And I literally said, no, you don't. I literally did. The action was amazing. The action sequences was amazing.
The action sequences in this movie are just absolutely insane.
It's fun. It's what it should be. And he is wrecking fools. There's no denying that. He wrecking fools. And Batman is supposed to wreck fools.
Yes, he is.
But
he doesn't kill anybody.
No, he doesn't. And fans will be very happy about that because they did not like that about Ben Affleck, though. I think I have my own theories about that scene in the Batman versus Superman, but but that is a very different Batman. Did I like Robert Pattinson better than Ben Affleck? I liked a lot of Ben Affleck's Batman. I'm kind of sad we're not going to get more. I think he kind of deserved more of a chance than he got.
Yeah.
Because Justice League was kind of panned. Batman vs. Superman was kind of panned. And I kind of feel sad that now he's probably just going to have a cameo where he dies in The Flash. And
probably.
Be done.
Which will be unfortunate. But, I mean...
Because I thought he did a really good job.
I thought he did a pretty good job,
and I have to agree with John Campea when they said that, when they originally said, when they were talking about the new Batman, and they originally said that he was in talks to be directing and all that. I mean, he's a good director. I mean, him and Matt Damon wrote Good Will Hunting, and and he has experience writing scripts, and so I was like, I thought he did a good job as Batman. That could be really interesting. I kind of want to see that too. I believe this is my first Matt Reeves movie I've seen because I haven't seen The Planet of the Apes.
We need to fix that.
I have to say, I haven't even seen the original, so I need to see that. I have to say, did I like him better than Ben Affleck's? And I liked a lot about Ben Affleck's Batman. I did. I really did. I thought his scenes in Wonder Woman were good. I thought, his interaction with Gal Gadot was good. I thought I kind of liked the cheekiness of when he sends her that email about Batman versus Superman. is this you? You know, I kind of like the cheekiness of that. You know? But, you know, because Batman, he's not stupid. He's cheeky.
Not. He's not stupid.
But, you know, but, was he in the Wonder Woman? No, I guess he wasn't in the Wonder Woman movie.
No, he wasn't.
Never mind. Sorry. I liked his interaction with Wonder Woman is what I was mostly trying to say.
Yes.
But he, I thought she was with you. I love that line in Batman. No matter what you say about me, that was one of the best lines in the DC movie ever.
Yeah.
I thought she was with you. But anyway, yes, I think so. A little bit. I really like seeing a younger Batman that is trying to
still trying to figure things out.
And I like Christian Bale's Batman too. His Batman was so different though than Robert Pattinson's. It's kind of hard to compare them.
Yes,
to be honest,
it's very hard to compare.
Very different.
So,
like, I would say he's closer to maybe a younger Ben Affleck Batman when he was starting out, to be honest, than the Christian Bale. I don't know. The Dark Knight trilogy is just so much its own thing to me that I don't really like comparing. You know, I know a lot of people love that and think it's the best Batman since sliced bread, but there are so many, and don't at me when I say this, but there are so many good iterations of Batman.
Yes, there are.
And you can't forget Keaton, because Keaton is the one that started the movies. There would be no Robert Pattinson doing a Batman movie right now if the Keaton movie hadn't been successful.
Yes, that's true.
You know, so Keaton is, I think, both of our favorites.
Yeah, I like Keaton. I like his is good.
I like Batman a little bit more than he does. He's my Superman.
Yeah, I like Superman.
But he's my Superman guy. But and he generally likes Marvel better because he doesn't always like dark things.
Yeah, I'm not as big into the dark stuff, and I love how they've taken the MCU and really connected everything together, and it's just like one big cohesive universe. Whereas DC just kind of failed at that.
Well, that was their own fault.
That was their own fault, and on top of that, they tried to rush.
I think they would have been more successful. I think the ones, because they picked good actors. Ben Affleck did a good job. Gal Gadot did it. I'm actually looking forward to seeing Ezra Miller again as Flash. I enjoyed him. You know, I love Jason Momoa as Aquaman. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they didn't pick
it's not like actors. They didn't pick good actors or anything.
I think
it's they just haven't been able to do it.
And I think the thing they forgot, they got all the good actors. But they forgot the one thing that Marvel didn't do, was try to rush it.
Yeah,
they tried to
rush it. And on top of that, I think I have to say this. DC does better when they do singular not connected movies. All of their one-offs have been huge. Like, you look at the Joker movie. I mean, we didn't watch it, but it supposedly it took off like crazy.
Now I don't think this is gonna make
this
as
movie,
much as Joker though, because it is long.
It is long and whatnot, but it's really popular.
Yeah,
you know, and
it's
stuff
getting
like
good
that,
reviews so far,
and getting really good reviews.
But speaking of connections,
you get toward the end of the movie, after all the craziness at the city getting flooded and which was kind of interesting. I'd never really thought about it before, but Gotham is below sea level.
Well, Gotham is basically supposed to be New York. So
yeah, but New York doesn't have a seawall because they're the city's above ground.
Yeah,
or above
Gotham. I think they have some stuff because they still have the Hudson River, and there's a lot of water around New York.
They have a
there's
river.
Ocean. There's Hudson
they have a river
and
stuff like that, but Gotham is. I think it's supposed to be on an island.
Yeah, and so is New York.
But the water level is high enough. The regular water level is above the actual regular ground level, which means that they have to have a seawall, which is...
My dad needs to be here. He's from New York. We should ask him. Does New York actually have walls? You just don't see them.
I don't think New York has seawalls. I don't know. But it was interesting because...
New York is very... But anyway, what I was going to say after... Yes, there is a flood.
There is a flood.
Very interesting.
It's... like just the whole climax of the movie was really good, very well done.
And you're not expecting it either. We're not going to really get into that either because you're not
really expecting it. We're not going to really talk about the mystery itself and how it all happens because we want
Jeffrey Wright is a very good Commissioner Gordon.
Good Commissioner Gordon.
He's a good actor, the Double Dipper. Marvel.
Anyway, but so you get toward the end of the movie, and the Joker is in jail. Not the Joker.
Riddler.
The Riddler is in jail, and
now before we say anything about this, we are not positive.
We're not 100% positive about this. It may not come out to anything at all, to be honest. But
no, it's coming out something, or they wouldn't have filmed it. But we just don't know what it's coming out to. They wouldn't have put that in there. Especially if they're planning children, they wouldn't put that in there.
Yeah, there's another character in the cell next to the Riddler that is basically talking to the Riddler, and
when he's real upset about
having been foiled and defeated and whatnot.
And Paul Dano, oh my god,
he did such a good job.
This is the first movie I've seen him in, and boy, is he a good actor.
Yeah, he is. So the character,
scary good. I mean, scary good.
Yeah, the character in the other cell kind of sounds and looks kind of like the Joker.
I think it's more Two-Face. You're kind of dating this. You're waiting if there was an end credit scene, which there is kind of. It's funny.
He has the Joker's laugh, though.
Kind of. But I'll tell you one thing: if it is the Joker, it's not Joaquin Phoenix. Because Joaquin Phoenix,
it's not.
Did a heck of a laugh in that trailer.
Oh yeah, and he did. And that laugh is unmistakable too. So that wasn't Joaquin Phoenix's laugh. But
not that this guy didn't do a good job.
The person that we think it might be.
But Joaquin did a heck of it, and that was not his laugh. Yeah, I'm sorry, because one of the guys with us, he's like, "I think it's Joaquin's," and I'm just sitting there going, "No, that's not Joaquin."
But the sound, it sounded like it might be
the young man
that plays him in the Gotham TV
That's
show.
What our friend Jacob. So we ran into one of our friends. He came in we beat him. He came in just at the right time.
Yeah,
I don't know how late he was running, but he came in like just at the beginning of the movie and like gave a fist pump and all that. And then at the end of it, he's like, "That's Cameron."
I forget what his name is.
He's also does the character of
the Jedi character in
Fallen
Order.
And he is a good actor.
He does a really good job.
If you have not watched Gotham, I only watched a little bit of it. I kind of got to the first season and I kind of got out of it. But I'll tell you one thing. The little boy who they got to play him in Gotham, who they got to play the young Bruce, the scream that he does after his parents are murdered. I have to say that is one of the best iterations of the usually they just kind of have Bruce be quiet in those scenes the whole time.
Yeah.
They don't really have him show any emotion.
Yep.
And he screams, and it is bone. Now, he doesn't, if I remember right, he doesn't scream until after the perps leave. He's still quiet when the perps leave. When the perps are there, and it all happens. Like, that part doesn't change. Like, he doesn't try to, get in their face, or they don't change it that much, you know what I mean? But the scream that he gives at the end, when he's sitting there in the rain and they're on the floor and he's on the floor, oh my gosh, it is bone chilling. Right. It is one of the best iterations I have ever seen, just because they truly showed, and I don't know if they got that from the comics and they've just never really showed that in the movies.
Right.
But you see what a terrified little boy he really was after that happened.
Yeah.
And it is, and I always gave Gotham credit for that, even though I didn't really continue watching it.
Right. Also,
But if you have not watched the interrogation scene, it's easy to find. Just go to IMDb, look up whoever played Joker. Go to Cameron. I think it's Cameron Monk. Look up whoever played the Joker, or Jerome, because they'll probably say Jerome Joker, blah blah blah, because you meet him as Jerome, I believe.
Yes.
And look up the interrogation scene from his first episode.
Yeah.
And you will die.
Yes.
You will die.
He's really good.
I watched it just because everybody was talking about it, because like I said, I never really finished the show. I couldn't get into parts of it. That show's actually kind of pretty violent for Fox. I think it was on FX.
Right.
And for, one that was on TV.
Yeah.
But, and it didn't really pull any punches with the violent and the grittiness of Gotham either. But it was also from the perspective of Commissioner Gordon, a young Commissioner Gordon, and his first partner figuring out, and you see a young Catwoman who's also played by a very good actress. There's a young Poison Ivy in there. It was on Netflix. I don't know if it is anymore. Someday I'm probably going to try to sit and watch it.
Yeah.
But it's just, but yeah, look up his interrogation scene, so and good. You will die. You will die, because I remember everybody was dying, because they didn't, I don't think they officially made him Joker until a couple seasons later. But you knew just from that interrogation, just from the way he acted and the way he acts, he combines elements from every single one.
Right.
Of the past Jokers, and I am not kidding.
It's so good.
You pick up on it. I honestly think it could more be possibly Two-Face.
There's a possibility. If you look at the way that the character looks behind the glass, it didn't
look like the Joker's hair.
Yeah,
that's what kind of threw me.
Quite look right, and his face was a little too.
But
distorted.
He mentioned clown.
He did mention,
and they
clown.
Act like you're a clown, and then he laughed, and the laugh was kind of like a Joker laugh. But Two-Face was also good at kind of laughing and doing his coin toss too.
Thing.
So we didn't see a coin or anything.
No, we didn't see a coin. So we don't really know who it could be. It could be anybody at this point.
I'm not going to be surprised if it's not the young actor, because if I were him, he did that part for a long time. I'm sure he wants to do other things.
Yes, it's possible, but at the same time,
if it's Two-Face though, and it's him, I'm going to be very interested, because I imagine he would play a good Two-Face too.
I would not put it past him though to To play the Joker again though, because
the
opportunity to play the Joker in a movie versus a TV
show, yeah,
I could see.
But the other thing you have to remember, and what Jacob was kind of forgetting, and the guy the other guy, this other fan, kind of joined into a conversation. It was fun. He told me, "Oh, you got to see Joker." I'm like, "Sorry, I can't." Yeah. But anyway, I want to, but I can't.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if I want to. I hear that's actually kind of pretty deep, kind of creepy movie, but it looked very well acted. Yes. I will tell you that. When I saw his laugh, Joaquin Phoenix laugh in that trailer, I about died. I was like, "Oh my!"
Yeah.
But it was just the other thing that they're forgetting, though, as I was saying. Sorry, this is going to be a long one, but Gotham was very divisive among fans. And when they're trying to get, even though I think a lot of people liked him as the Joker, and Jacob didn't seem like he liked what they kind of ended up doing with his look at the end, which is different and weird if you see pictures of it. But I don't know if they're trying to get this trilogy off, and they're already dealing with the backlash of Robert Pattinson as John Campbell would say, and crew would say, "Twilight boy." I don't know if they would if they're going to do the Joker, and that is if they're going to do the Joker. I'm not going to be surprised if they do the Joker, but I'm also not going to be surprised if they don't, because I think they want to make things as different as they can.
Yeah.
And I think that because the Joker has been done so many times, and there's a lot of other villains that are scary and deserve more cred too.
Yeah, there are a lot of other villains.
And don't get me wrong, the Joker is probably my favorite.
We may end up
Batman version.
We may end up having
Batman villain besides Catwoman.
We may end up having another situation where we have more than one villain in the movie.
Yeah, so don't get me wrong. I like Joker. Him and Catwoman are probably my favorite of the villains, and I like Poison Ivy quite a bit too. And I also kind of like Two-Face, to be honest. I liked him in the cartoon. And Mr. Freeze was interesting in the cartoon. I think they need to do justice to Mr. Freeze, because sorry, Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger, you did not. But anyway, I think that I don't know if they're already, like I said, they're already dealing with that on the side of Robert Pattinson. I don't know if they're going to if they are going to do Joker, and that's if they are going to do Joker, if they're going to bring someone in that was something that was already kind of divisive among fans. Now, I honestly the other reason I think it might be Two-Face, and I was thinking this on the way home, was originally before Heath Ledger died. The one after The Dark Knight was supposed to have Heath Ledger, and they were definitely setting up Two-Face, and that actor was doing a very good job, and they didn't bring him back into the movie, which I was actually kind of very disappointed with, because I thought he was doing a good job, and I don't think Two-Face has really been done in live action except for by Tommy Lee Jones, which he did a very good job, but his was very campy, just like Jim Carrey's Riddler was very campy.
Yes.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it is Two-Face, because they may want to do justice to Two-Face and do what Dark Knight The Dark Knight Rises was originally going to do.
Do a proper Two-Face.
Yeah. I that's the other reason. And also, and by the way, I really do like the chemistry between Zoe Kravitz and Robert Pattinson.
They did a good job.
Very good chemistry. What it's supposed to be. The only thing I did not like about The Dark Knight Rises is the end of that movie, because that is not how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
He's not supposed to go off with her.
No.
Their love is never supposed to be. Anyway. But I did love Michael Caine kind of waving at him, and that was cute.
Yeah.
And him kind of smiling at him. But anyway.
So
I wouldn't be surprised if it is Two-Face. Because I was really disappointed, because that actor who played Two-Face in The Dark Knight was really good.
Yeah.
You could tell, like, that scene in the hospital when he gets in Joker's face, and it's like, oh, I forget what he says, but he's like, oh, I was like, oh my gosh, he's going to be a good Two-Face.
But,
so I was really kind of disappointed that didn't happen.
It looked like it looks like, but if the next two movies are anything like this movie, it's going to be really good. That's all I got to say.
So,
anyway, guys,
we're done.
Thanks for sitting here and watching our ramblings.
Have you seen the Batman?
Have you guys seen the Batman yet?
Are you guys Batman fans?
Are you guys Batman fans? Let us know in the comments down below.
No spoilers, guys.
No spoilers in the comments, please. If you have not seen the movie, I guess just don't read the comments.
Oh, and another cool thing we got.
Oh yeah.
They had some
They didn't have posters at our screening, but they did have some comics, which are kind of cool. It's kind of the comic cover is kind of the Batman, but then the inside I think is a reprint of the one of the editions
Halloween,
of the
which
Long
is one
Halloween.
of the comics this is supposed to be based on, and it does start on Halloween. That is another thing.
Yeah,
I really think he should have tried to stick with an October.
Yeah, it probably would have been better.
I really do.
It probably would have been better off.
I know at this point they had to get it out. They had to get it done.
Yeah.
But when he originally moved back, as I've said before, when it was originally moved back, because it was supposed to come out June of last year.
Yeah. When
it was originally moved back, it had gone to October 1st.
Yeah.
And then Dune was supposed to take its spot when it ended up, they knew they weren't going to make it or whatever. And they, so Dune ended up taking that spot, and then that ended up not staying there. But anyway, that's a long story. But I honestly, though, watching this whole thing, and Robert Pattinson, he does not sound like Robert Pattinson in this at all.
No, he doesn't.
And he narrates parts of it. They show him journaling.
Yeah,
and I kind of like that.
Yeah, he keeps track of things electronically, and he keeps track of things written wise, which is interesting. I kind of like that. Which is
very Bruce Wayne.
Very Bruce Wayne.
I think a lot of iterations of Bruce Wayne, because they focus on the older Bruce Wayne a lot.
Yeah.
I think a lot of those Bruce Waynes forget how smart he's supposed to be.
And this movie
and I think really a lot of people in general forget how smart he's supposed to be.
This movie really does illustrate a lot of his abilities to be a detective, because he picks up on a lot of things that the detectives and the other people don't pick up on. He's very much the Sherlock Holmes style.
Like maybe he would have been a cop if his parents had died.
Yeah. So, but anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Tell us what you guys thought of the movie in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and keep an eye out for more content.
A lot more videos for you.
Yep, we're gonna be trying to get a lot more videos out for you guys. Keep an eye on some more trailer reactions, and also movie reviews. Our
first movie review after this one will be, by your popular demand, because you love that trailer, Turning Red.
Turning Red, yep. So we're gonna hopefully.
And Elvis will be another one we're doing by popular demand because, as we said in the last video,
that exploded.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Anyway, guys, we'll see you guys in the next video.
Bye.